Yo, what is up, everybody? It is time for the Jason Masoud Show, episode 11, and I have a lovely guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Yo, what's up? I'm JesseFox, aka JesseFox Official on the Twitch. I do a daily morning show called The Morning Glow. So come check it out sometime. I'm a musician, artist, creator of sorts. I don't know, I do lots of stuff. I do all the things. All the things I'm interested in.
Dude, that's the one. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll just say I'm excited to see what you want to chat about and see how this goes. This is my first interview ever, so
Woo!
this is a new experience for me.
Hey, that's super awesome, man. So, dude, there is a lot to talk about because you are so talented in so many different ways. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about, man, is how the hell this guy could play pretty much every single instrument ever made. Can you tell us, like, what instruments you play and how were you able to do this? How did you learn all of these different instruments, man? Where did it come from?
Well, I started out when I was real young. My family is full of musicians. That helps. There's instruments lying around the house. We had a piano, French horn, a trumpet, a flute, some percussion stuff. And when I was like 4, maybe, my parents walked in on me, not masturbating. I was playing the cornet. I was playing the cornet. Like, I never learned how to play an instrument at all, but I was able to make sounds on a cornet and match notes to the radio. And they're like, holy crap, we're totally gonna give this boy music lessons. So there I started real young, music lessons. And the rest is, I don't know, it's history. I just followed my interests, so to speak, throughout my musical life. You play one instrument for a long time, and then you're like, you know what? There's other instruments out there. I'm going to try this out. I'm going to join this group. I'm going to do this in this group. I'm going to try this in this group. I'm going to explore certain instruments on my own. And after like 30-some years, you just pick up a lot of stuff.
Wow. So this started in childhood. Dude, okay, so you said your family was full of musicians, right? Were they musicians who did it as a hobby? Were they gigging musicians? How serious of musicians were they?
Well, my uncle is a professional musician. He's been singing on cruise ships almost his whole life.
Oh, wow.
Almost his whole professional career. On the Queen Mary 2 and the Queen Elizabeth 2. He does like big band Frank Sinatra style type stuff. Mm-hmm. And my aunt did some opera. My mom is a hobbyist. She plays the flute rather well, though. She probably could do something with it if she wanted to, like just for maybe being a session flute player, because
Right.
She can read music and she has a really good tone. So she could be a session player if she wanted to, I think. But my dad, he's a self-taught. He plays piano and sings. He's kind of like got a lot of natural talent, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, never did it professionally or anything, but he probably could have as well if he really wanted to.
Wow, man. That's really interesting. So you said the first instrument that you picked up, or the instrument that your parents caught you playing, was called, what was it called? I don't think I've heard of that instrument.
It's a cornet. It's like a trumpet.
So it's like a trumpet. Wait, so you were able to pick it up, because I actually used to play trumpet back in middle school, and I remember it took me a little while to even be able to create a sound off, because you need to put your lips on the mouthpiece a certain way, you have to blow a certain way, and it's actually pretty difficult, to even make sound on the trumpet. So was it the same way on this instrument?
I don't know. Somehow, I don't remember that far back, but somehow I was able to do it like right away, I guess. You just have to vibrate your face, so.
Vibrate your face. Right, yeah, I remember that. That's kind of how I used to. Oh, okay. Dang, dude, that's really crazy. So, like back in, I don't know, like middle school, high school, were you in bands? Were you playing music with other people? Or
I didn't like play in any bands, like rock bands or anything like bands like that, but I was more towards the symphonic realm for most of my upbringing. I loved pop music. I loved listening to rock and roll and stuff like that. But I was very focused on the symphonic side. I played French horn for a very long time. That was my main concert instrument in high school was the French horn, and in middle school, I guess, as well. I also picked up drumming in high school. I did a little bit in middle school, but I really focused really hard on percussion and drumming in high school. I was during marching band season. I don't know if you know, it's like there's concert season and then there's like marching band season. I don't know if you have that where you were or where you grew up.
I actually wasn't. I wasn't in a high school band.
Okay. Well, you have like a marching band season, right? And so during that season, I'd play percussion. I'd play tenor drums. Actually, my first year in the drum lines was on cymbals. So I was marching around, crashing the cymbals. Doing the cymbal moves,
doing all the cool like crazy tricks. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I really wanted to play tenor drums, which is you have a bunch of drums in front of you that are tuned to different pitches. So it's like playing toms.
But, yeah.
So I really loved those. I thought they were cool. So I started doing tenor drums, and then while I was in high school, a group formed called the Eastside Fury Percussion Ensemble, which was a competitive group. We'd do like indoor percussion competitions, and we really trained super hard, and I learned a whole lot and got to really chop out and like get some really good chops through that experience. And my senior year, I played snare drum because I don't know, it was more convenient, I guess, for me to do. As opposed
convenient.
To,
now, are you saying that's what your instructor wanted you to play? I know that happens a lot, right? Where the instructor is kind of like, you know what? You should probably like pick up the French horn. But in reality, there's like no French horn players, or maybe he needs an extra French horn player. And I know that some directors will kind of do that, where they'll kind of persuade you to pick up an instrument.
The band director, not like the drumline instructor, the band director wanted me to play mellophone bugle in marching band. He was way. You need to play mellophone. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna play what I want, or I'm gonna quit the band. That's basically all there is to it.
That's a good attitude to have, man. Honestly, a lot of people fall into that trap, I feel like.
Yeah, it's where they just do what they're told to do. Like, I mean, if I sucked at drumming and I wasn't, if I was making the drum line worse by being in it, maybe I'd understand. But I didn't want to play bugle or mellophone during marching season. I played French horn all concert season. I liked switching it up a little bit, playing, and I really loved, like, it was really expanding my musical abilities and my mind and the way I would do things by learning other stuff. Like learning drumming was helping me in more ways than playing the mellophone was going to help me ever. So
now, do you also feel like sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, so I just told him, I'm gonna do what I want to do, or you're going to be responsible for discouraging a person from being in band, basically. It's like, you're going to cause a student to quit because you're trying to force him into doing something he doesn't want to do.
Right. And that's so unfortunate, bro, because nobody should ever force anybody to do something that they don't want to do, especially when it comes to something like music. We all get into music because we love it, because we feel a connection, right? And if somebody from the outside, especially when you're a younger kid, somebody like a director says, oh, you have to play this instrument, but you don't really love that instrument, that director might eventually be the cause for that student to just quit music in general because they're not even having fun anymore, So it's really cool that you had that attitude at such a young age to say, you know what? Nah, bro, I'm going to do me, man. Like you already knew exactly what you wanted to do, and that's honestly really cool.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, I've always been kind of a little bit of a rebellious, kind of stubborn boy, I guess you'd say. My parents would definitely agree with this. If they told me to walk faster, I'd walk slower. I'm
Yeah,
courteous.
no, I feel
I was that kind of kid. So,
Dang. Yo, quick shout out to Helion TV. Thank you for tuning in, man. Jesse, you
yo,
know
what's
Helion
up?
as well, right?
Yeah. Welcome, Helion. Welcome, Helion TV.
I have a question. Okay, so you said you were doing a lot of
Yeah.
percussion in high school. Now, you said that it helped you in other ways. Do you feel like I feel like when you learn percussion or you play drums, you have to learn so many different rhythms. And when you master these rhythms and you're actually playing them, no matter what the instrument is, it's a percussion instrument. You really have to feel these rhythms. And then I feel like that probably transfers over to an instrument like, say, guitar, say, flute, piano.
It transfers to everything, every single thing. That's one thing that learning percussion, rhythm, especially in a group to where you have to be very precise.
Yeah.
If you're in like a drum line to where all of you have to have the exact same angles with your sticks, the exact same heights, the exact same everything, then it really gets to be to where it's your mind has to pay very close attention to the most minute little details in rhythm and amplitude, and that just translates everywhere else.
Right.
You're gonna see that in every other thing you play, especially like any melodic percussion, like a piano or anything like that. It'll immediately translate.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. I want to give a quick shout out to T to the C. Thank you so much for gifting 5 subs. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're amazing.
TC. TC's always coming in hot with the subs and the biddies and the donations.
Always. And then T to the C also said she got you too, or he, sorry. So you got five gifted subs as well. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it.
Wow, thanks, TC.
That's dope. But yeah, I totally agree with you. And when I was younger, I was a self-taught guitar player. I picked up the guitar and I was learning from, reading tabs, listening to music and trying to replicate what I was hearing. And since I was self-taught, I didn't really know, or I didn't really understand the importance of rhythm until I got older. If you play, it's so crazy because having great rhythm, like say you play a line, you play a melody. If you have really good rhythm and you mess up maybe just one note, but you're still in time and you play rhythm and you're really locked in, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Like rhythm, I feel like sometimes could be more important than like the actual notes you play, especially when you're improvising. If you're improvising over changes, a chord progression that you've never heard before, if you're just kind of, the scale, you figure out what key it is, and you play like, say, a simple pentatonic melody with great rhythm and you really are able to lock in with the groove, you can literally create something that's iconic just using great rhythm. And I didn't understand the importance of that until I got older, and it's something that I feel like a lot of musicians don't really understand, especially guitar players. I find that a lot of guitar players want to start guitar and just learn how to shred, right? That's the only, that's all they want to do. They want to learn how to shred. They want to be able to play fast. They want to be able to play the fast riffs, the fast licks. But in reality, if you start off in the very beginning and you learn maybe like a four chord progression, and then you practice different rhythms and figure out how to take these 4 chords and manipulate them by playing different rhythms, different feels, creating you can literally create a lot of different atmospheres by how you play these chords and the rhythm that you apply them to, So I feel like musicians really, really need to focus on rhythm instead of being so focused on, just playing fast.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And you're right. It's with if your rhythm is falling apart, then no matter if you're playing every single pitch correctly, it's gonna sound crap. It's one of those things. But like you said, the other way around, if you miss a few pitches, it might just sound more interesting. On accident.
Or you could just call it jazz, right?
It's jazz, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those foundational things. To me, the main foundational things is rhythm and tone, right? If you have a good tone, if there's some a pleasing sound that's happening, no matter what the pitch is, if it's a pleasing sound and the tone is good, then the rhythm is solid, then it's gonna sound good. It's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be like, oh, what is that crap?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, okay, this could be something, or it can fit somewhere, you know, or you can build more ideas around that. But if it's like completely rhythmically ambiguous, and you're like, I don't know where up is down and where left and right is,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to figure that out at some point. You're gonna have to bring some element in, at least in modern music, to where, okay, we have a frame of reference now to where we can base everything else off of. Because without that, we don't know what we're listening to.
Yeah. No. I agree, dude. I agree 100%. And my question is, so after high school, how was your journey as a musician? Were you still playing music out of high school? Did you kind of venture off and start playing gigs?
I
Or...
joined the Marine Drum and Bugle Corps.
Oh, really?
So I went right into the Marines to play music right out of high school. I marched there's this thing that happens called DCI, Drum Corps International. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's like the Super Bowl of marching band or whatever. Like it's all brass and percussion and color guard, which is people that toss rifles around and spin flags and stuff.
Right.
But there's an age kind of range where you have to be in it, right? I think either 15 or 16 to 22 is your age out. And if you turn 22, it has to be during the season. Otherwise, 21 is the age out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every summer for like 3.5 months, you tour around the United States practicing in football fields, sleeping on gym floors, and on buses, and just doing shows, trying to make it into the world championship, right? And and it's crazy. Like you're practicing 14 hours a day, every day, and you're just running around all day long. And I had the most fun ever doing it.
Damn,
I thought
bro.
it was great.
Yeah,
but I was in
that sounds so
group,
tiring, dude.
Well, the thing is, you're young when you're doing it, and that's probably a good reason why there's an age out, right? Because it's really a young man's sport. I guess you could call it a sport because it's like very physically demanding. I mean, it's like running a marathon in 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
The shows are between 10 and 11 minutes long. I can't remember exactly, but usually there's three, you know, like you have your opening song act, whatever, and then you have like some type of middle thing, and then you have your big closing thing, arrangement, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you got like your marching, your drum line, you've got your brass, and then you've got your front line, which is your pit, with like marimbas and your big gongs and all that kind of stuff. And it's you got to check it out, man. Drum Corps International, it's DCI. There's a couple groups from California that always do well. The Santa Clara Vanguard from Santa Clara, California, and the Blue Devils.
Oh, I've heard about them. Yeah, actually, I've heard about them. Yeah, from other musicians.
Yeah, they're usually like within the top 10 every year. You know, some of my favorite shows were by Santa Clara Vanguard, and so I did that in 2000 and 2001 with the Glassman Drum and Bugle Corps out of Ohio, and that's where I learned about the Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. Right, is because they played at during the halftime for the finals, right, for DCI finals.
Right.
So I was like, whoa, I can do drum corps as my job.
Yeah.
No way, like I could do this for my job in the military. Like, okay, sure, let's do that. So I auditioned, I got in, I went to boot camp, got through that. Marine Corps boot camp is no joke, by the way. It's severe stuff.
Yeah.
But somehow they can pump some musicians through there once in a while. We make it through.
So as a musician of the Marine Corps, you still had to go through like basic training. You still had to train the same exact way, but on top of that, you also had to practice your instrument, right?
Well, we couldn't practice while we were at boot camp, obviously, or combat training. So that's a forced 5 to 6 months off where you couldn't play anything. But
so you couldn't
that's no big deal.
Could you have your instrument with you and maybe after combat training, maybe at night, practice a little bit, or was it just no instruments at all?
Not while you're doing your training. No.
How
not when you're doing your Marine stuff.
Wow, I actually have a good friend, one of my best friends. He also joined the Marines right out of high school, and he's a bass player. And while he was in the Marines for those 4 years, he pretty much did not pick up a bass guitar at all. Did not play his main instrument at all for 4 years. I mean, for me to think about not playing guitar even for like a week just drives me crazy. Like, how was that for you, man? Like going months without playing any instrument at all.
Well, it's not even just without playing instruments. With like during boot camp, you don't hear any music either. Like you, nothing, right? So you don't have
Wow.
like a little Walkman. You don't have an iPod. You don't have any of that stuff. It's just the only way you get to hear music is if you go to like the Sunday service they have and where they sing some songs. You know, it's like
Yeah.
um, so
Wow,
yeah, it
man,
was
that's
definitely
incredible.
is very bizarre. But I mean, they keep you busy. It's not like you have time to be like, oh man, uh, I wish I should. I'm thinking about practicing my instrument right now. It's like, no, you're too busy getting destroyed in the sandpit or something.
Yeah, dang. And I mean, by the end of training, every night, you're probably just so freaking exhausted. All you want to do is sleep, right?
Yeah, like you hit the pillow super hard. The really jacked up thing is though is at a certain point you do boot camp all day long, right? And then you start to dream about it all night long. So like you're basically doing boot camp
Wow.
double at a certain point.
Right.
Everybody experiences this too. It's like you're doing boot camp all day long and then you just dream about it all night. And people will be like yelling out commands in their sleep and stuff. It's really
no,
bizarre.
no way, man. That's crazy.
For
Real
sure.
quick, I want to say what's up to Grandmaster Ong. How you doing, man? Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, Grandma Strong, welcome.
But now, so you joined the Marines right out of high school, man. Do you feel like
Yeah.
that really did it help you as far as discipline? And I mean, what did you get out of being in the Marines that actually helped you in life later on? Because the discipline alone, you're saying that you couldn't even listen to music for those 5 months. The only thing you do is pretty much just eat, sleep, and breathe boot camp for 5 months. You,
Yeah.
you got to be so mentally strong to be able to handle
Boot
that.
camp is 3.5 months, and then you go to combat training, which is like a month and a half. Depending on your MOS, which is your job. If you're going into infantry, then you have like a 3 months of combat training. It's a little more involved.
Hmm.
But for like the regular combat training, you're gonna shoot some machine guns, you're gonna throw some grenades, you're gonna
You make
you
it
know you're
sound
gonna
so casual. You're gonna throw some grenades.
but you're gonna go through all that kind of stuff um, and then you're done, right? Until you go do something like then you go to your job basically. You after that you go to your MOS school. But since I've already trained to do my job before I ever even got into the military, I didn't have to go to MOS school. I just went straight to my unit,
Did you
right?
have to
Because
audition to join the band?
yes, I absolutely had to audition.
Now, did you
Um,
audition before or after boot camp?
Before I would not have joined the Marine Corps if I didn't know where I was going to end up.
Oh,
You know
okay,
what I mean?
okay. Yeah.
Like, but it was crazy because I joined in November 11th. Was it? No, September 11th, um, 2001. So it was like right at, no, September
Wow.
14th. It was right after 9/11 that I went to boot camp. So it like just happened. So
Whoa.
everything was like a little more extreme, a little crazier. And everyone was like super charged up and gung ho and like, uh, so the vibe was a little more severe than like what it, there was some question at a certain point of whether or not they were going to just make everyone be infantry at some point.
Wow.
Like the question definitely came into my mind at certain points, but that's not how it turned out. I ended up, as planned and per my contract, just going right to my MOS. So,
Oh,
which was
wow.
in Washington D.C. So I was stationed in Washington D.C. for 4 years. We did tons of traveling. We do over 400 performances a year, so you can imagine how busy we were. Um, I tell people I didn't sleep for 4 years, basically. That's what it feels like. I feel like I didn't sleep.
Dang.
I feel like I didn't sleep for 4 years.
And the only thing you were doing was practicing. I mean, that is intense. And were there any days off? Did you maybe like train really hard Monday through Friday, get Saturday, Sunday, where you could just kind of hang out and do whatever? Or
No, we'd get vacation time between around Christmas. We'd get like 20 to 30 days off. So we'd get a big chunk of time off every year, and then the rest of the year was go on a plane like every weekend, on a tour bus like at least once a week, if not more.
right.
But yeah, flying all around, and we'd do crazy stuff. Like we'd fly all the way to Washington State to do a performance. We'd get off the plane, get all our stuff ready, do the show, and then after the show, we'd pack the plane right back up and fly all the way back to DC. So we'd in the course of 1.5 days, we'd fly all the way to the other side of the country and then all the way back again. So it was stuff like that, just crazy stuff.
Dang, and I'm sure you must have gotten really, really close to all the musicians you were playing with during this time, right? I mean, you guys are together literally just nonstop all day, every day, essentially. I mean, what kind of bond did that create? Like when you compare, maybe like the first week of you joining to maybe the last week right before you were out, you guys probably just really knew each other as musicians collectively, right? How was that?
I mean, there's no way to describe how close you get to people unless you're in that type of close quarters all day, every day. And we'd spend all our time together, like you said, like in rehearsals, at shows, and we like lived in the same building. Like afterwards, when we'd go out to have our recreational fun, whatever time, it would always be, at least a few of us together. It was, it's hard to describe how it's like they become your family. They really do.
Right.
But even closer in some ways.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Wow, man. That's incredible that you had an experience like that, And as far as the repertoire, what was the repertoire like? Were you guys practicing things like scales and improv, or was it more, hey, you guys need to learn these 10 songs for this performance? You guys learn it.
We had okay, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
I know the answer to your question.
Go ahead.
So we have like a repertoire, right? We have maybe 100 or so songs that we'd have just memorized, ready to go at any time. And then we learn a new set list for like our drill show every year, which is we do a performance at the Iwo Jima Memorial during what's called parade season, right? Which was like a few months in the summer. And we do a show every Tuesday night around sunset at the Iwo Jima Memorial in Arlington Cemetery. And we'd play a range of stuff, some classical repertoire, all the way up to like some movie themes. Like we did Pirates of the Caribbean was one of our songs.
Oh shit!
One year, so we'd kind of have a variety of stuff that we do. But we also did like Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony, stuff like that. Like we'd kind of mix it up. A lot of it was obviously patriotic tunes,
right?
America the Beautiful, stuff like that. But yeah, there is. I mean, we just have to have. We didn't really practice our scales together, so to speak. Like,
yeah.
Everyone, if you were there, like you were pretty accomplished already. Like you could sight read, you knew your scales, like you could play, But we would, you were expected to do that stuff on your own if you didn't do it, if you couldn't do it already. You were expected. Together, we were mostly just working on keeping our songs fresh and together as far as our repertoire, and like preparing the music for the shows we had coming up. So, and every Friday night during parade season, we do a show at Marine Barracks where there'd be like bleachers full of a bunch of some people from the public, but also like, politicians or whatever. They'd come and they'd watch the show, and it's a very up close and personal thing too. Those shows, you're like 15, 20 feet away from us. It's pretty cool.
Wow, yeah, that sounds like such a crazy experience, man.
It's a weird job. It's one of the weirder jobs out there. I'm pretty sure.
Real quick shout out to Senyo Sen. What's up? And Get on the Bar. What is up? Thank you so much for joining us.
Yo, what's up, Senyo?
So what happened after the Marines? What did you do afterwards?
Oh man.
Sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot of stuff.
Well, I had gotten married while I was in the Marines, like the last year I was in. So I moved to San Diego afterwards, actually, for like maybe a year to 2 years. Not sure. Things didn't work out for me too great there. It was tough to like keep making enough money to. I don't know. It was life was really tricky for me afterwards. It's like I wanted to keep doing music, but I mean, I was doing like marching band, and and I didn't really want to do that anymore. I didn't want to do brass. I didn't want to play brass as my like moneymaker anymore.
Right.
As I was exiting the Marines, I was kind of getting more into like the recording and engineering side.
Oh, okay.
I'd built up an interest in that, but I mean, I was just starting out when I got out, so I kind of like went back home to Michigan for a little bit. It's kind of a little bit blurry, actually, that whole era. It was like the transition is rough. Like
right.
Transitioning from being in the military to being a civilian again, it's not easy.
Right.
It's
because in the military, things were pretty structured, right? Like you would wake up and you'd know exactly what you were going to do. I'm guessing, right? I mean, I don't have any experience, but
it's pretty much 100% structured. Like they tell you when to get up, when to go to work, when to eat, when to sleep. You know what I mean? It's
right.
like everything is like, if you love having your schedule made for you to where all you have to do is follow the list of things and then you're good to go and you don't have to think about anything else, join the military. They'll do that for you. They will pay you. And yeah, it's like, but it's obviously not like that. And in the civilian world, you have to figure out, you're responsible for yourself and for making your own schedule and to figure everything out. I ended up getting a bunch of different kinds of jobs. Like I did some tree removal for a while. So I was like hanging from a tree like 40 feet up in the air with a chainsaw.
Oh,
did
shit.
that kind of stuff a little bit. I worked in like a dog kennel or a veterinarian's office where I'd like clean up dog doo-doo and clean dog bowls and
dang.
I do the cremations as well. Like some of the cremations, there was like a crematory there for the animals. So I did that for a little while, and I wasn't so into that. So
yeah,
it was like a placeholder job, just to make some money. Because
dang, man,
all this while I'm like, trying to learn how to record, and engineer and do stuff like that.
Right.
Eventually, I went to college for it, for audio engineering, and I got like an associate's degree for that. I lived in a recording studio for a little while, and that was an interesting experience. I got to see a lot of like how things can be good and bad, and let's just say like substance abuse is a kind of a big problem in that realm of like artists, musicians, especially in like the pop music area, where like
right.
it seems to be not so much in the classical music realm. I don't know what the difference is, but there's like a lot of substance abuse going on in the pop music era realm, whatever. People getting well, let's say this. Let's say like you work as a cover band in a bar, you know what I mean? And you do that a few nights a week, and like you're just getting drunk, like doing stuff like that.
I mean, yeah. And for me, as a a session player and a gigging musician, a lot of the times when you're playing at these bars or restaurants or whatever it might be, even like weddings, you're getting free drinks. So it's kind of hard, And then if they're free drinks, once you have one drink, you're probably going to keep drinking. And it's just kind of there. So I feel like, in a sense, it's part of the culture, for a lot of people. Of course, there's people who don't drink. There's people who don't do any of that stuff. But in my experience, when you're offered a free drink and then you know you can get more, then you're probably going to get more. And eventually, if you don't control that and you're doing that like 3, 4, or 5 nights a week, eventually you're going to accidentally develop a problem.
Right. Exactly. I definitely flirted with some alcohol abuse. In the military, that's kind of like we get done with work and we go to the bar and spend our paycheck,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I definitely flirted with some alcohol abuse, like in my life, which I don't drink at all now, for years now. But it was around that time when I was like going to school for recording and stuff like that, to where I discovered like fire spinning and floor arts and stuff like that, and I fell in love with that like right away. So I started to pursue that as well.
Now, how did you get into it? Where did you was there a moment where maybe you saw a performance or maybe you saw a video and it just inspired you and you realized, yo, I really want to go for this. I want to learn this craft.
Yeah, it was totally just like you said. I went to a show. It was like an EDM show, and they had some fire spinners on the stage, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool as hell."
Yeah.
I want to do that. That's cool. I want to check it out. So after the show, they were done. I was like, "Hey, well, where do you practice? Where's and they practice in this little place in Detroit." So I started showing up. It eventually turned into a thing called the Detroit Fire Guild. And yeah, that was a tight-knit group too. Like we just show up like once a week and we'd all practice, and eventually we started like getting gigs together, and some of us would like make our own performances, and like some of us, like we'd end up performing at things like the Juggalo gathering and just weird stuff, like random stuff.
Can you explain fire spinning? Because for me, okay, I'm kind of picturing maybe somebody juggling with items that might be on fire or something like that. But I know there's probably a lot more to it.
Yeah, I mean there's stabs, fire stabs, and there's fire poi, which is like little balls of
Somebody said you're from the Fire Clan. That's dope.
Yeah, that's right.
Yo, what's up? Shout out to Coteasy. What up, dude?
So this is a fire poi, right? It's just like this chain with a ball with a little handle, and this is woven Kevlar that you can soak in lighter fluid or white gas and set it on fire, spin it around.
Dude, that's terrifying, man. Can you explain like the first time you actually tried it, where you had an object that was on fire in your hands and you're like, all right, I'm gonna juggle it. Like, how was that, dude? I'd be fucking terrified. Plus, I got long hair. I don't want to burn my hair off, That's scary.
I had long hair just like you at the time. I had Jesus hair. And
so how was that moment?
Hair, whatever you want to call it.
Like that very first time.
I'm ice cold. I don't know. I wasn't afraid at all. I was just like, okay, this is cool. I'm down with this.
Just like that? Damn, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. When I get to a certain point to where like once I'm confident in what I'm doing, as far as like the motions and what's happening, maybe it's from like maybe it's from doing BMX like a long time ago. I did that when I was a teenager, and I could do like backflips over dirt jumps and stuff like that on my BMX bike. And there's a
so you were like really into it. You were doing backflips?
Oh yeah, I was like damn. I was doing it back when like the backflip was like when what's his name? I forgot his name, but when he won the X Games doing one backflip, like that was the coolest thing you could do at the time. Now people are doing completely insane stuff.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I could do like backflips, 360s, 360 bar spins, and like I was into it. I was way into the BMX for a while, but all my friends started getting seriously injured, so I was like, you know what? I have to choose between pursuing a life of music or doing the BMX, because like you're eventually going to jack yourself up and not be able to do anything else. And like it's not an old man sport. Like there's very few dudes that are like getting old and still able to do it, because it just wrecks you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
So yeah. But doing that, it taught me how to like turn my fear off, if that makes sense.
No, it makes 100%. Dude, if you're going off a fucking ramp and you're doing a backflip, you can't be scared in that moment. I feel like if you're scared,
like,
yeah, and then what's gonna happen? You're gonna eat shit, right? You got to go in there and you got to be 100% confident. So that makes 100% sense. Yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, so tracing all the way back to there, all the way up till now, like I'm gonna turn the fear off. If I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing, and I'm just gonna do that. I'm not gonna focus on messing up. I'm just gonna focus on doing what I know how to do. So, yeah, it's definitely a learned thing. Like you learn how to do that over time, and I don't know. It's easy now. Like I can just, especially if it's something I've been practicing and the motions feel right. If it's super sketchy, I might like start to feel the butterflies. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is super sketchy because something could go very wrong, and I can get jacked up. You know, and those feelings do come up ever so often. But
do you have any crazy stories about maybe something that happened to you, or maybe somebody else you were working with, where something kind of went wrong?
Probably. But not too bad. Like most of the time, things went pretty well for me. I did light my butt on fire one time, and
oh no way!
was like hopping up and down, like in the fire circle, putting my butt out. And
was it during a performance or was it practice?
This was at like a flow arts festival. This one called Kinetic Fire that happens in Ohio every year, except for 2020. Obviously, it didn't happen last year. But I've gone to, that's where I met Marvin, Grandmaster Ong, for the first time, was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's where he saw me with my long dark hair and my guy liner and my face paint looking all
your guy liner? I like how you said guy liner. That's dope. But, okay, so when you were doing this, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so while you were doing this, did you stop playing music, or were you also playing music at the same time?
I was very much playing music at the same time.
Now, does it kind of go hand in hand at these festivals? Because I'm sure there's probably like music performances, right? As people are performing, or maybe...
It's like 99% DJs at these things. So I'd bring my electric cello and I'd like set it up and I'd like play like for the fire walking, stuff like that. Like, and one time, like, they had to shut the music off early because they were, like, in sound violation at Kinetic Fire. So I went and grabbed my electric cello and my little speaker or whatever, my little amp, and was playing for the fire circle with some hand drummers. So, like, once in a while, like, there'd be, like, the opportunity at these things to jam out a bit. But it's like 99% DJs. They want their bass music. They want their, you know what I mean? Like, there's very much like it's not so much like bands or live instrumental stuff, and that's what I do. Like I did some DJing when I was in the Marines. Actually, I've got like a pretty decent collection of vinyl, but I haven't really done much DJing or playing out after that. Just here and there, but playing instruments is my thing. Like pushing buttons and moving faders around is all right. It's not bad. It's like
right.
And to anyone that does that, it's I'm all for it. Do your thing. But to me, like growing up, like playing instruments almost my whole life, I gotta play the thing.
Yeah, no. I feel you. And like for me, as a guitar player, like I want to play my guitar with other people who are playing live instruments, or even like playing with a DJ. If I'm playing my guitar while a DJ is spinning and maybe like improvising over a track or something like that, then yeah, I'm happy. But I want the instrument in my hands. I love producing, but performing and playing my instrument, that's what I love. That's why I got into music. And same thing with you, right? Like, we want to play these instruments. The connection that you build with an instrument after playing it for years and years, I can't even describe it. Like there are some days where I pick up my guitar and I just literally feel like there's nothing separating me and my guitar. I end up it's almost like I'm teleported to like this world where I'm not thinking about what's around me anymore. And it's just me and my instrument almost like thinking alike, if that makes sense. You know, it's a state of flow. And I feel like it's why I love music, you know. And I totally agree with what you're saying. There's a difference.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's a state of flow.
But you know what I mean, right? It's like,
yeah, 100% for sure.
There's nothing like it.
When you're proficient, like when you become proficient at your thing, and you don't have to think about, okay, am I hitting the right notes? Like, is everything working? Am I doing it right? You know, once you like can leave that mind and go into everything's more like your unconscious is happening, and like you've ingrained a lot of these motions into sequences that you don't have to think about. It's just like they just start to happen almost faster than you can think. To me, that's that happy space that you're talking about, to where it's not like to where you become one thing, you know. And it's more of like you're expressing the ranges of your like emotional. You can express like emotional ranges through this instrument at certain points, you know. It's like by getting louder or softer or playing certain tonalities together that evoke certain feelings or ideas. And it's almost like calculus for, you know, it's almost like you're doing calculus for sound in a way. It's like a
no, I totally feel you. Yeah. And you know, it's not an easy path, man, to get, like you're talking about. It's almost like two different mindsets, right? When you first pick up an instrument, like for me, picking up guitar, man, after playing for like a minute, my fingers would start hurting. You know, if I wanted to switch strings, I would really have to think about it or watch my right hand, and then my left hand would start fucking things up. And it's so hard to get over that hump, you know, where you don't have to think about that stuff anymore. And now you're just kind of like picking the instrument up and you could just play, and then you can have fun and you can experiment. And that's where creativity comes in. And
absolutely.
Did you are you at that point too with fire spinning? Can you like improvise or choreograph things on the spot just by picking up your tools
that's
and
pretty
going
much,
for it?
That's like 95 to 99% all I've done with it is exactly what you're saying. And it doesn't always, like, it's not always the best. Is usually something that's choreographed is probably going to end up being a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, but it comes to a certain point where if you can improvise in it's not going to be boring, at least. Yeah.
Right. And you know, the thing with improv, I mean, for music, for me, you know, if I sit down and I write a solo, then I could probably write something. You know, I can write it, even if it's difficult. I could sit down, I could practice it, and I can end up writing something very difficult. But there have been moments where I improvise and I'm not thinking about what I'm playing, but crazy stuff just comes out that I've never really played before. But on the other hand, there's times where I improvise, and as I'm improvising in my head, I'm like, dude, come on, bro, do better than this, you know? That's what I love about improv. It's almost like flipping a coin. You don't know what's going to happen. It's almost like playing a game of chance, you know? You don't know if it's going to be absolutely incredible or if it's going to be a train wreck. But that's the beauty of it. You don't know. You're going in blind, and you're just going to see what happens. You know, and that's something that I really love about improv. And I think improvisation is one of my favorite things ever to do as a musician, because you're just going with the flow, especially if you're around other musicians and you guys sit down and you're like, let's jam. Okay. And then you just start something from scratch. There's no plan for it, but sometimes that's when the most beautiful and raw things are created, you know, just going with the flow and doing it.
Yeah, it's there's nothing like playing with other very competent musicians, you know, like playing with people that are not just good at their instrument, but also good at feeling out what's happening around them and knowing when they're supporting and when it's their turn to like poke out and be the thing. You know, it's I've very rarely come across those moments to where I'm playing with people that are like, okay, they're in the zone. We're both kind of sharing one mind, and we're able to like toss back and forth what's going on. there's a handpan player that I would do this with. He's not from the United States. He come here every once in a while. Hasn't been able to come here since the COVID, but him and we'd be able to like, I'd be able to do cello and he'd be able to do his handpan, and we'd play off each other really well. It was really cool.
Oh, that sounds awesome,
yeah,
man. Like that sounds like such a cool combo too, you know, like a cool duo setting. That sounds really just raw and awesome, man.
Yeah, we did a couple performances to where it wasn't just me and him. It was me and him and my girl and my friend Zach, the turtle. You remember the turtle?
Oh, yeah. The magical turtle.
The magical turtle. And this was crazy. This show was completely crazy. We're at this event called Lakes of Fire that happens in Michigan, and it's a Burning Man regional event. But we all didn't say a word to each other. We just all walked into like our instruments, our spots, and just started playing. And it was like crazy good. I was like, oh my God. We didn't say a word to each other, not one thing. Like it just popped off, and it was just great. It was amazing. I was like, wow, this is like a few times in a lifetime thing to happen. You know, it was totally wild.
Wow, man. Now, did you guys plan this as far as, okay, we're not going to say anything. We're just going to go up there and see what happens?
No, not at all.
So it is all one big accident that ended up being just a beautiful experience.
Well, we had planned to play together, right?
Right.
We were like, that's the only thing that was planned, was that we were going to go play, you know?
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. That's all we needed to plan. That was it. But
dang.
If you want to see some videos of some short videos of fire spinning, I found a few.
Oh yeah, dude, come on, let's see it. Of course.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna have to share my screen.
Yo, everybody in chat, come on. Who wants to see this dude spinning some fire items? I know I do, man. I love fire, but not spinning. I don't think I could ever really get into fire spinning, man. Or maybe if I tried it, I would get into it. It just sounds so scary to me. Like so many things could go wrong.
Yeah, maybe at least fire poi isn't your thing, maybe. But you could do like palm torches. I don't know, there's
palm torches. That sounds even more terrifying, dude. All right, let me know when the video's ready, and then I'll go ahead and switch screens. I'm excited to see this, man.
I think it's ready to go.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Holy shit. Holy shit.
This was at an event called Scarefest Scream Park. It's like a Halloween themed park. And I do stuff there every once in a while.
Wow, man. This is really awesome. Really awesome.
Yeah.
Dang, man. What? Bro, that's crazy, man. That is so crazy.
I can show you.
Yeah. One. Please do.
I'll show you the other one that I have from that same place, the Scarefest place.
Dude, just from watching that, I feel like when you're actually doing it and you're performing, you're not thinking about anything. Like, it looks like I know I keep saying this, all right? It sounds very hippie-like, but the state of flow, it looks like you're just one with the object and you're just going for it. Like, dude, that's beautiful, man. That is so beautiful. It's literally art.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely enjoyed a lot. It's movement, like expressing through movement. It's like a very good balance between science and art for me. To me, it's like things that involve balance and movement very much connect you to the earth and like the field, as so to speak. That is like how we interact with physics. You know what I mean? Like as far as like jumping and throwing a ball and hitting a target, stuff like that. People
Yeah.
tend to enjoy that for some. Like as humans, we tend to enjoy that. And this is like juggling or anything like that is like at a very high level, right? To where and it feels really good. It really feels great. And when you bring in a performance aspect to it, on top of it being like a physically interesting or like the motions or like a good exercise, and start injecting like different emotions and feelings and archetypal type ideas into it, to me it's just like it just becomes so dynamic and interesting to do and to experience at the same time.
Wow, man, that is beautiful. Yeah, this interview is fire. No pun intended. This is straight fire. Yo, what's up, Tron? Shout out to Tron. Yo, Jesse, whenever you're ready, man, let's see this video. I'm excited.
Yeah, I gotta share my screen again.
Oh, Tron said those racks are sick. By the way, you should totally give us maybe like, I know you're kind of limited with the camera placement, but at least tell us what's behind you. That looks freaking epic.
Yeah. After this video, it's very short. I'll tell you what's on my rack back here.
Sure. I'd love to see your rack.
I'll show you my rack.
Give me 1 second.
Right, this is
I'll let you know when. Okay. Whenever you're ready.
All right, here we go.
Potatoes! Potatoes! Whoa! Potatoes!
So what we do is we'd entertain the lines to like the haunted hayride and the haunted mansion. Like there are people standing in line for like 45 minutes to an hour, so we'd like, you know, spin fire for them.
Damn. Oh, actually, you know what?
Pause the video.
It disconnected for some
reason.
Oh.
That's odd. Says you've been disconnected. Sit tight. We're patching you back in. Let's give it a few seconds.
Whoa.
You know what? In the meantime, can you tell us what's behind you?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. It's kind of, maybe it's hard to see. Okay. Can you see me and my stuff right here?
Yeah.
This is just like a power thing to where I can flick the power on and off for all this different stuff. This right here is like a wireless transmitter to my earbuds right here that I'm wearing. I've got this little like.
Oh, you have a wireless system.
Yeah, it's a wireless system. There's nothing more annoying than like trying to perform or play your instruments and having your headphone cable like mess you up, you know?
Right.
And right below that is actually the two things below that are my audio interfaces, which is I have a Motu A280S and a 16A. So that's you got 2 preamps on the ADS along with 8 TRS ins and 8 TRS out. And then I've got 16 in and out on this device, and they talk to each other through AVB. So the routing is really great. I can route things all over the place in interesting and fun ways. Below that is just a couple preamps. I've got a Shadow Hills Mono Gamma and a Neve. I think it's like a 1073, which is what my mic is going into. As you can see here, I just click this little guy.
Oh,
and below that is a Neve 2254 compressor. And yeah, that's it. That's all that's in the rack right there.
That's it?
That's it?
Yeah.
Bro, that's like some complex shit, man.
It's good stuff. I definitely like it. I definitely need some more pre's, like some mic pre's. I love to have. I want to get a rack of 8 more at least.
Do you do any recording?
Do you do any recording?
Like, do you record
Like,
bands?
do you record bands?
Yeah, I have some projects. Not like I haven't recorded any like rock bands, so to speak, to where it's like traditional instrumentation. But there's this this kid called J Rose Loops, and I'm working on his album right now. It should be out next month, I think, sometime. And I've been doing the Magic Turtle Zach. I've been doing his stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I did classical guitarist stuff, but mostly like I'm at the point where I am in a place. Up until a few years ago, I had just been kind of moving around too much to have a setup or do this for anybody. So it's been mostly just me honing my skills, like practicing on my own, and after college at least, and yeah. But the last few years, I've been working with more people as far as recording and stuff. But I definitely love to do more. It's like hopefully this COVID thing doesn't last forever and we can start meeting up again and doing stuff.
I hope so, man.
I hope so, man.
This COVID thing is just insane, man.
Yeah,
do you want to
try to?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say. Close out that window with the video and then open it back up, and maybe it'll work. It still says disconnected.
Let's try this again. Did that work?
Oh yeah, now it works. Okay, give me a second.
All right.
I'll tell you when to play it.
Tell you when to play it.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna pick it up where I left off.
Somebody screamed World Star.
Dang,
that's dope, dude.
That's called 3-poi, obviously, because there's 3 of them.
Yeah, dude, that's so crazy, man. That you do that and you do that in front of people, and these items are on fire, and if they hit anything around you, the whole thing can go up in flames, essentially, right? I mean, it's pretty freaking dangerous, and it takes some balls.
Yeah, there's some potential for that, absolutely. I mean,
that would make a good World Star video, though. I'm glad it didn't happen, but then people would really be screaming World Star. World Star! Why do people always have to scream World Star when something cool is happening? What the hell's up with that, man?
I don't know. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea.
You've never heard of like the World Star hip hop videos?
No, dude.
Now, I don't know why it's called World Star hip hop. I'm sure they have hip hop videos, but World Star, they have a lot of videos of things that are trending or things that trend. It ends up being a lot of toxic stuff, like fights that go really, really bad, or just really, really toxic stuff on the internet. But for some reason, like if something happens that's really cool, World Star. And yeah, essentially that's what it is. I wouldn't really recommend looking up World Star videos because it is a lot of toxicity, but it could be quite entertaining. Not gonna lie.
Well, thanks for illuminating my world.
So, what do you do nowadays? I know you stream. How did you get into streaming, man? How long have you been streaming?
Since COVID, I just the musical opportunities. I was doing some shows like here and there, some live shows, and those obviously all stopped. So I was like, okay, what can I do? And I had already been following like Twitch for like a few years because of chess. I'm really into chess, so I followed the Chess Bros and Grandmaster Simon Williams, the Ginger GM for chess streaming. And I was like, I could do this for music. So I just figured out how to do my setup and started experimenting around, and the morning glow started to happen.
Now, as far as the setup, you know, like figuring out how to use OBS for your stream, figuring out how to route Logic's audio and get it, you know, actually put out to the stream. Did that take you a while, man? For me, it was a bit of a headache, dude, setting up my stream, honestly.
It was a headache, but it didn't really take much time to figure out. You just had to like get the sound flower and push a few routing buttons and blammo, there you go. I did have to spend some time figuring out, okay, how am I going to get my instruments and looping and all this stuff to all happen without latency and, you know, be able to do a thing. That took some working. But eventually I figured out what the limitations were and realized I couldn't really use virtual instruments. It just wouldn't happen.
Right.
As far as like the actual VSTs, I had to sample all of my virtual instruments and use Logic's built-in sampler. So if I wanted to use like a Reason VST for like a piano, like this piano right here, I just put it on a setting like, okay, that reverb sounds all right and whatever. And then I just I auto sampled the instrument because that uses almost no CPU, right?
Yeah.
And so I did that same thing with maybe a dozen or so instruments, like this harp,
that's beautiful.
This Calista. I got this oboe. I've got like some synthesizer ones too. This little like lead synth.
Dang.
Then I made I sampled some drums. So I got a few different styles of kits on here as well. But
and you're controlling all of that using your keyboard, right?
Yeah. This is an Akai. I don't know how do you say that word. Akai. Does anyone know? AKI?
I think something like that. I know what the brand is. I've heard of the brand for sure. I just don't know how to pronounce it.
It's an MPK 61. It's like it's an older one. I don't even think they sell it anymore. They sell the 261 now. But it's the older version of the 261.
Oh, okay.
It's got 61 keys. To me, like 61 keys, I need at least 61 keys.
For me, all I need is like 2 octaves because I'm not an actual, you know, keyboard player. But for you, like actually being very, very good at keyboard, I mean, you definitely need like a real full-size one.
Well, I'm definitely like pretty amateur at keyboard, but I do my best.
No, okay. Tell us a little bit about the Morning Glow, man, because guys, JesseFox has an amazing stream. It happens every single morning, right? Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I basically just do live improvised kind of feel-good vibes, you know, on a bunch of different instruments. I got my acoustic guitar right here. I've got a didgeridoo. I've got various like hand percussion and little percussion things like Wilbur right here. I have a recorder like this guy. I've got electric guitar. I've got a bass guitar. I've got a cello that I pull out once in a while. And yeah, I've got my microKORG right here and all these virtual sampled instruments. And I build up songs. And sometimes I do it with the help of the chat, and sometimes I just do it myself without any influence. And yeah, should I give a little demonstration?
Yes, I think you should, man. Let's hear it. Let's hear something.
All right, cool. Let me clear off the looper.
Yeah, no problem. By the way, Goofball said, I think of the Morning Glow and I automatically hear in my head that soft wah Jesse does. Can you do that for us real quick? That's like a signature.
Sure. It's like from the anime thing, right? You know how like, wow, it's supposed to be wow, but it sounds like wah, right?
Yeah. T to the C said, I don't mean to interrupt, but Morning Glow gets me through work every day, and it's so awesome. Been a savior since COVID went down. I agree. Dude, Jesse, I'm telling you right now, man. Let me know when you clear your looper, by the way. I just want to tell you that every morning, man, when I'm at work and I see that you're live, I go in there and the music that you play is just so relaxing. It literally feeds my soul, man. Somebody in the chat said morning meditation type beat. It's totally like meditation, man. You create this beautiful, beautiful atmosphere, and you have such a positive personality. It's honestly a beautiful thing to watch. And the fact that you're doing everything live, you're doing it all on the spot, and you're creating from scratch, it just makes everything so much more epic, man. So whenever you're ready, give us a little bit of a taste, man.
Sure, like what kind of jam we want to do? I'm going to ask you guys. There's like a couple main kinds that I'll do. I can do just a chill, or I can do a ditch jam. That's a little more like a little bit more upbeat. It's got a little more tribal feel to it usually. What do you got? What are you guys feeling?
Chat, what do you guys want to hear?
Let's say ditch or regular. Or Jason, or I could, if you guys don't say something by the time I grab my decision coin, then
wait, do you have a decision coin? Do you have one?
Oh yeah. I use it all the time.
Well, T to the C said ditch jam. Goofball said give us that mellow.
Okay. Oh man, it's a tie. Well, I guess we'll have to ask the decision coin. All right, this is the fire. That'll be ditch, and this kind of green kinetic fire logo, that'll be the mellow. Let's do it.
Okay, somebody else did put tribal in the chat. So let's have the coin decide, though. The coin knows all.
We'll ask the coin, and then we'll do whatever we want anyway.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, it said mellow, but I feel like let's do a ditch jam. Let's do it.
Ditch jam it is. All right. Oh, I'm excited for this. Guys, if you haven't seen this, you're in for a real treat.
All right. We'll do a ditch handpan. How about that? That'll be fun.
Let's hear it.
All right, first I have to activate ditch channel. Activate. All right. Activated. It's going a little slower because I'm running so many programs right now. Actually, let me quit Google Chrome. That'll free up some time. Yeah.
The troubles of being on a laptop, man. I have to deal with it too. A MacBook Pro, dude, doing all this crap it's so taxing. But all right, here we go.
All right. All right, let's add some more percussion. What do we need? More percussion.
Percussion. Oh, and they also want you to use Wilbur.
Of course, we'll use Wilbur. I put in the tempo into Logic so that the echoes are in time with my looper. All right. Chop. See, now we're in time. All right, let's add some hands. right. Let's add a little more percussion.
Thank you so much for the raid. JesseFox is slaying it right now.
Now let's grab some bass guitar.
Bro, Jesse, you're doing incredible, man.
Change my mind. I want to do some synth bass. That's the idea. That's the idea.
Bro.
Wow.
Every time I watch that, man, I watch you. You're literally creating sounds from scratch. Like, you're literally doing it all on the spot, too. And you end up creating this beautiful, uplifting vibe, man. It's incredible. Chat, wasn't that amazing? I mean, there's no way you can listen to that and not feel happy, you know? Like, that's the one thing I love about your stream, too, man. If I'm, like, you know, kind of stressed out, maybe I'm a little tired, you know, I'm kind of hating my life because I'm at work, whatever it is. I go into your stream and I just hear the music, and then you're just vibing out. You pick up all these instruments, and dude, I end up smiling, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking badass. And then the rest of my day is better, you know? Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I mean, I'm getting stuff out of it too. Obviously, it's kind of my like morning warm up. It's my morning practice session,
right,
so to speak.
How did you come up with the name The Morning Glow?
Well, it was like there was just so much craziness going on, and with like COVID and all this other stuff, and I was like, you know what? Everyone's like talking about end of days, like everything's horrible, everything's bad. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and balance the scales just a little bit, you know, my own way. I'm just gonna put some good vibes out there. And what better time to do it than at the start of the day, you know? So decided to just do The Morning Glow.
Man, that's so awesome, dude. And yeah, you're right, dude. The internet is full of so much negativity right now, especially, you know, people are trapped in their houses for the most part. You got COVID going on. COVID has been going on for almost 1 year now, you know, in the U.S.
Yeah.
And, I mean, people are pent up. People have a bunch of emotions. People are spreading a lot of negativity on social media. It's really cool that, you know, there's people like you out there who want to spread positivity during these times instead of, you know, creating negative posts or posting something just for the likes and views, even though it's nothing but toxicity, you know? It's honestly great. And I wish there was way more people like you, you know, whose main goal was to spread positivity and make people feel happy versus make people pissed off at the world, you know?
Yeah. I feel like as humans, we all strive to have some kind of purpose. It's like no matter what that is, whether it is, okay, I'm the instigator, you know, I'm going to start some stuff. For me, my purpose is just to create beauty as much as I can and to help other people. That's all. Those are my two guiding lights for 90% of my decision making, at least. If it falls within that range, then it's probably okay.
Right.
It's probably okay for me to do. So I don't know.
No, that's it. That's
because I love so many things. I love so many types of things. Like I love metal sculpting as well. I've made quite a few sculptures. And art installations as well, fairly large ones. Do you want to see? I might have some video.
Bro, let's see it. So you're just a man of many trades, right? So I mean, you started off with music, and you're just good at everything. You know, you're good at everything.
If I had an interest in it, I just went for it. You know.
Right.
It's not. I'm the kind of person that when I see something, it's not, can I do that? I'm like, gonna do that. Like,
right.
I have full faith and confidence in my abilities to learn anything. I really do. No matter what it is, I know I can do it. You know, I'm pretty confident. And the only thing that will deter me from doing something is if I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if that sucks and I really don't like it, then I weigh, okay, is this just a painful phase I have to get through to get to where I am liking this? Or is this just going to suck all the time?
Right.
At that point, I just don't. But
yeah, no, and that goes with what we talked about earlier, you know, like the learning phase of, you know, my example was learning guitar. you could do whatever you want to do. The thing is, you do have to go over the hurdle of sucking at it and sucking at it for a while until you eventually get better at it. And then you eventually start learning more and more, and then you could do the thing, you know? But
yeah, exactly.
If you're passionate about it, then that passion is going to drive you to put in the practice and put in the work. So you have to be passionate about what you're doing, because if you're forcing yourself to do something and you don't really love it, you're not going to get very far, because passion is what really makes people great at things. Because passion is what keeps you going even when you don't necessarily feel like doing it. You're going to do it anyway, you know? And you're a good example of that, because you're great at many things, man. And it's because you're a very passionate person, and that's great, man. I really appreciate you sharing all of this with us.
Yeah, my pleasure. And at a certain point, you start to enjoy the process. Like, it's not like, okay, like practicing always sucks. You know, it's like, no, even if my results are like shabby at best, like to start out, I'm still like finding joy in the process of learning. You know, it's not all pain. Like there's definitely painful moments, but I think jugglers know this better than anybody. Like, because you're gonna drop and drop and drop that thing on the floor, and you're gonna bend over and pick it up over and over again. And if you're like getting upset every time that happens, you're not gonna get anywhere. So I started to like tell myself, you're getting better. Every time I dropped it, I'm like, you're doing great. You're getting better. You're a little bit closer to where you want to be. You know, you start telling yourselves these little things instead of like getting upset. You're just like, okay, I'm learning. I'm getting there, getting better. You know, it's the little things we tell ourselves definitely makes a difference in the long run.
Oh yeah, man. I agree 100%.
So I want to show you, I'm not sure what to show you. I want to show you my fire tornado machine that I built.
A fire tornado machine. Okay, that sounds fucking epic, bro. Let's see this shit, man.
I'm going to try and pull it up here on the good old interwebs.
Fire tornado. Let's see it.
Yeah, this thing lived in my head for a few years before I actually built it. And I had done like quite a few like metalworking projects before that. But this one was one that was a little more involved and needed lots of precision, I guess you'd say. Let me see.
Quick shout out to Stitch. Yo, what's up? Thank you again for the raid the other day. I really appreciate that.
Yo, what's up, Stitch? Well, actually, you'll see a bit of footage from both Lakes of Fire and Kinetic Fire at the same time where I brought this fire tornado. So it'll be a few moments.
Dude, I feel like at the end of this podcast, you're going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, I can turn myself into a ball of flames. Watch this. Then you snap your fingers, and then everything just bursts into flames, and then you snap your fingers again, and everything goes back to normal.
I set my whole front end, like my whole chest on fire for like $5 once.
Yeah.
And he didn't even pay me. He didn't even have the $5.
Wait, are you being serious?
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? It's like, that's why you got to get the money up front. You got to get it up front.
Dude, okay, it just blows my mind that you were willing to do that for only $5, and then it blows my mind that this dude didn't even pay you. You should have just set him on fire afterwards and been like, all right, bro.
All his friends gave him a bunch of crap. Oh. So that was worth it. Just to see his friends pissed off. All right. I think this is working. All right, so this will be some shots of my fire tornado machine. I call it Coriolis. I had to name it for this event called Art Prize that I competed in with it. But yeah, anyways.
Let's see it. By the way, what's up, Stellar Death? Yeah, we got it. Go ahead and hit play.
Here we go.
Holy shit, man.
Holy shit, man.
Wow.
Wow.
Bro, okay. That is straight fire. All right? That's all I'm going to say. Can you tell us? Well, okay, actually, so Senyo said this fire tornado is mind-blowing in person. Senyo, did she actually see this in person?
Yeah, quite a few of the people in chat have probably seen it if they went to Kinetic Fire or Lakes of Fire, where I had them for a few years. I brought them to both events.
No way.
Yeah, it's one of those things to where I don't get too very excited about my own things that I make too often, because I mean, you understand, right? As like a musician, like especially if you're making stuff all the time, but once in a while, like you make a thing where you're like, yeah, this thing gives me the feels for sure.
Yeah.
You know? And this was one of them. This is one of the things where I was like, okay, I get inspired by my own creation. You know what I mean? This is great.
Yeah. Bro, I was able to tell. I don't know if chat noticed, but in one of the scenes of the video, you like spun it, and then you turned around and looked at the camera, kind of like, yeah, what's up, bitch? Yeah, this is my creation, bitch. It is so epic, dude. Can you tell me a little bit about the process? Like, piecing it together. You said that had lived in your head for a little bit, and then you made it into a reality. So, how was that?
It was, I made it over 4 weekends, I think, when I actually did the construction. I had salvaged 2 85-gallon steel drums that I welded together and carved out that design that you saw in it on the sides. Actually, I think I might have pictures.
Oh, yeah. Please show them.
Let me see if I have pictures.
By the way, shout out to Deathbringer. What's up, bro? How you doing? Thanks for being here, my man.
That way you can see it while I'm talking about it and it'll be a little easier.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, totally. Here we go. All right, I'm going to share my screen again.
Okay.
I think it's... The wrong thing is on top. Let's see if this works.
Oh, I think... Oh. Did you pull it up yet?
Is it working?
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be working now. Give me a second. No, it says this stream has ended.
Oh. Okay. Hold on.
Want to try it again? Sure.
It looks like I'll have to share my screen again, I guess.
Deathbringer is eating homemade pizza right now. That sounds delicious.
Yum, yum.
Stop breaking it. Okay. Yeah, I'm breaking this on purpose because I don't want Jesse to look like too much of a badass on my show. He's kind of outclassing me right now, so I'm purposely destroying his stream on Discord. Deathbringer said we're both really hot. Oh, stop.
Okay, I think I know how to do this now.
Okay, let me know when it's ready. By the way, I just want to thank everybody who's actually in here hanging out with us. It really means a lot. And Jesse, I want to thank you once more for being here, man. This is so awesome.
Yeah, this is going to work.
You got it? Okay, cool. Here we go.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Give me a second. And boom. Yeah.
Okay. So let me explain this thing. You can see like the cylinder with all those like designs cut out in it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did all that. There was like over 4,000 cuts in it that I did with a plasma cutter.
Wow.
I made a 1/4 stencil that I wrapped around it 4 times, obviously, and did my best to line everything up. I completely fabricated the whole base from scrap metal, some like steel square tubing, rebar, and some sheet metal. I created so on the inside, the fire barrel is it's welded to a wheel axle, and it's sitting over a pipe that has is connected to some propane tanks, and the propane is shooting up through a hole in the center. And when you spin it,
holy shit,
the Coriolis effect occurs, and it creates a vortex on the inside. So you spin this thing, and it shoots the fire up. And that particular scene is, see those like mirrored kind of walls behind me as well? Those, I built all of those. They're all in part of an installation that I made called the Temple of Infinite Suns. And it's, the mirrors are opposite of each other, so they create that infinity mirror effect. So when you're inside, like, it like feels like you're in a huge space, even though it's kind of small.
wow,
And you can
man.
see like the fire tornado like going off into infinity in every direction you're looking. So that's pretty cool.
What's really blowing my mind is that cut that you have in your biceps, bro. No, I'm just kidding, bro. On a serious note, that's honestly incredible, man. Wow. And you did this all by yourself?
Yeah.
How did you know this was going to work out, dude?
Like, I didn't. This was a big roll of the dice. Actually, the first time I tested it and put it together, I didn't make it balanced enough, so it was wobbling all over the place. I had to cut a bunch of it apart and redo it. So it's
wow, man.
it was one of the things where like I failed pretty hard, and then I had to like, okay, can I salvage this? And then I spent tons of time, like hours and hours, moving it like a centimeter this way, adding a little shim in it this way, just to get it so that it was balanced, you know. And then now it spins really great. It's balanced. It spins like a top, you know. It's really good.
Wow, man, that's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing. Real quick, I want to thank 4i20 for the sub, dude. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. But so would you call? There we go. We need that, man. That signature, Jesse. Wah! I can't do it as good as you. I just sound really cringe when I try to do it. So
you gotta have the effects. Without the effects, it's not good. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. But would you say this is one of the projects you're most proud of? I mean, it's honestly just so creative and incredible that you were able to piece this all together by yourself, and that you had this idea in your head and you actually made it, you know, become reality. That's incredible, man.
I'm one of those kind of dudes that's just full of ideas, and if I was able to execute even half of them, like, there'd be some crazy shit out in the world.
So are there other things that you're kind of thinking about doing that you just haven't done yet?
Yeah, for sure. That actually segues pretty well to, I was experimenting around with this live performance show for a little bit. It was like very like ritual based, and it involved like a stage full of my sculptures and flow arts and live music and like ritual stuff. It's hard to describe. Let's see. All right. So these shows were very like experimental and a little bit thrown together. None of them were ever rehearsed ahead of time. They all just I made some of the music ahead of time. I made a backing track and then had some conversations with the people involved, telling them like kind of what they're supposed to do. And then the first time running through the show was at the show.
Dang.
So, and we did this like 4 or 5 times. And I mean, it kind of worked out. It kind of like, for me, like I could see the potential of where it could be, and knew that it could be so much better, obviously, but just with time, and I knew I needed to kind of work on some stuff and at least experiment and try some things out.
Yeah.
And the finalized version that lives in my head is super crazy. Hold on a second.
Sure.
But here's a little clip of at least, I'll show a couple clips of this. I won't show the whole things. I'll probably jump around a little bit.
Sure.
But you can see some more of my sculptures and some of the idea for this performance.
Cool. Let's see it, man.
All right. Let's see here. I got to push some buttons. Got to share my screen again. There it is. All right, ready? Got the video thing? All right.
Examine. The stay forward, so stay with you forever. To remain awake.
The audio isn't super great, and the camera's not great because it's just someone in the crowd filming it with their phone or something.
Oh, okay.
But you'll get an idea.
Wow, man.
Wow, man. Can you pause it real quick?
Yeah. Did it break?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, play it.
Oh, okay. I'm off in the corner somewhere playing didgeridoo.
Now, this whole thing was your idea, right?
Yeah. I worked with my cousin on it. He's the guy on the front, kind of kneeling in front of an altar.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's a sweet transition.
This is beautiful, man.
Beautiful, man.
Thanks, bro.
Wow, man, that's honestly amazing to watch. You said none of it was practiced.
No, that was the first time we ever did it. Any of that together was at the show itself. So it was always it's always hard to know what exactly was going to happen, you know.
Right.
But I'll show you one more shorter clip as
Sure.
well of part of that show. So what I do is I'd compose all the music from start to finish for the whole thing, minus some parts that I'd play live, right? And then we'd go through. Let me just make sure this is the video I want. Let me find one where he's burning stuff, because that's fun. We like to watch people burn stuff.
Yeah, we like fire here.
Yeah. So let me make sure I'm grabbing the correct clip. I think maybe it's this one. That's not that one. But yeah, so I compose all the music. Oh, you wanted to see me juggle knives, right? I got a
Yeah, we can do that afterwards.
Okay, yeah. I'm jumping around a little bit. I will. Let me find that.
So when did this happen? That performance?
Maybe 5 years ago. It's
5 years ago. Wow.
Maybe like 3-4 years ago. It's been a few years at least.
And do you want to go back to it?
What I want to do is I want to do the actual real version of it, so that is fully realized, which is going to involve obviously like real rehearsals where people will show up and we'll rehearse and really nail it down. I want to involve like live projection mapping to where like the environments are interacting with the people, you know, like, and part of it we'd like draw in a magic circle of protection around like the crowd. And I want it to be projection mapping happening, like, and when certain spells are activated, I want like symbols to pop up on the ground and on different parts of the scenery. And at certain points, I want like the whole floor to fall out, and we be in like on an island where there's like a bunch of lava below us, you know, stuff like that, like to really. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and all those. Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, all those like fire obelisks that you saw on the stage, I built all that stuff. Yeah, everything. Yeah, all that stuff was me. And the music. Well, like I gave it my all within the time constraints that I had. I had like maybe a week to get it all together for each time. Like, so I'd compose all the music in like a couple days, and I'd have my cousin come over and we'd record his backing vocals for the ritual part, and that was the end of anyone else interacting with me.
Yeah.
The rest would be like, okay, I'll see you at the show.
Oh man, I just realized that I had my mic muted this whole time, but Jesse can hear me because I'm using a different mic for Discord. Yeah, but they can hear you, and that's all that matters anyway. But
oh man,
wow, I can't believe that you would put this together in 1 week. You said you would do the music in, you said 2 days. Now, how long was the performance?
Like 20 to 30 minutes.
20 to 30 minutes straight, right? No breaks. The music keeps going breaks. And everything. Okay.
Yeah, everything keeps going. I lost the photo. I'm going to find it. Oh, there it is.
By the way, thank you, T to the C, for making me realize I had my mic muted. I would have probably went through the rest of the show with my mic muted, so thank you so much for that.
Is this the one? Sorry, I'm so...
No, it's all good, man. Take your time. Take your time. I'm just excited to be seeing this stuff, man, because, you know, I met you through Twitch, and I go into your shows every morning and everything, but now it's like I feel like I'm really getting to know you, and you're showing me, like, a lot of different parts of your life and different parts of, you know, things that you've created, and it's honestly just a real pleasure to really get to know you, man, and everything that I've seen so far is just incredible. Thank you so much for sharing this with me and
awesome.
Everybody else on stream, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you decided to have me on as one of your guests. I really have like spent my entire life like just doing artistic endeavors for like most of it, like almost all of it, and I'm almost 38 now, so it's like almost about 30 years of doing artistic things, and they just pile on top of each other.
Yeah.
I can barely remember all the stuff I've done at this point. But let's see here. Okay, I think I found the thing.
All right, cool.
So this will give you a better idea of like, that was like the end of the performance, that belly dancing routine. So what I did for that, I sent those girls the song, and they like would practice on their own and put something together. And then the first time us doing it was like, as a group, was at the show.
Oh, and that was the first time that you actually got to see what they put together, right?
Yeah, and
wow.
Like during these shows, this is the first time I get to see what my cousin put together too. I have no idea. Like, so I'm really putting a lot of trust and faith like in the people that I'm involving, like to do their part. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing everything else. You know what I mean? Like, I'm making the set. I'm like composing all the music. I'm performing. It's like I'm doing so much that I can't micromanage anybody. There's like no way I have time or the ability to do that within the time frame that we do these things in.
Right.
And I'd also create like laser cut pendants for each one too that we'd do at the show. So those would be some effort as well.
And where was this venue? Where was this performance? Where did
this was
place?
In Detroit? It was a venue in Detroit called the Tangent Gallery. And a lot of like, this is actually where I first started to learn fire spinning, was in this venue.
Oh, wow.
This is where the Detroit Fire Guild would meet up to practice. And so a lot of history in this room for me and quite a few others, I imagine.
Ah, okay. And that's probably why it is, I mean, I'm guessing it is pretty easy for you to tell them, hey, I'm putting a show together. Can I perform this here? You already built like a relationship with the people who run the venue. That's what I was wondering. Like, how did you pitch the idea of, doing this show? And you're saying it was such like a small time frame that you decided to do this in. How did that go about? That conversation. Like, how did you explain the show to these people before they saw it?
This show is actually part of an event called Nonsense Night that was put on by Zach Winchester, the Turtle guy.
Oh, okay.
And he's a good friend of mine. So he'd just be like, do you want to do a thing? I was like, yeah, I'll do a thing. And then that's the conversation.
Oh, and that's it. Oh, dude, that's so awesome though, man. That's so awesome.
Yeah, I like when things work out easy like that.
HTRDD Jr. said, Jesse the Orchestrator. I agree. That's a good nickname for you. JesseFox, a.k.a. the Orchestrator.
I like it. The Orchestrator. It sounds like boring though. It sounds like I'm just like organizing stuff. And like,
it's a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit.
Sure.
Well, actually, I'm going to do...
By the way, no need to rush any of the video. You can show as much as you want, man. Like, we're all enjoying this.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay. It's about damn time. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, it took me a minute.
No, it's all good.
I accidentally X'd out of the video and I had to re-find it. Okay. Audio is on. Okay, here we go.
All right, give me a second. Whoa, incredible voice.
That's my fiance, actually.
Wow.
Shadow, real shadow, is our universal unity, the true identity, the identity of united natural expression. When we invoke this true identity, true self, we connect to the collective consciousness of every living thing in the universe. When we communicate intent as consciousness, the response is immediate, communicated in the fashion we design. Sorcerer's Labyrinth. I direct the labyrinth, erect its wall, so I dump the floor I'll do again. The wasteland beyond inhabit the consumers, consumers of ill, consumers of hate. Not uninvited shall pass through this gate. Confusion it provides, unbound illusion, inflicts upon vain venture of vain. The whispers and rumblings of fallen foes provide warning counsel. Remain not here, travel no further. Your vile shall return upon you tenfold. You should be lost forever, tormentor, tormentor. From the circle the 8 points around, pierce the black ground, spin us in a direction, idea. Protect, reflect, confuse. This night, circle of my creation, Omega. Invoke the Mother. As the song with no beginning or end, Mother one with me and amend. My heart grows heavy in years, trapped in the shell of men. And crowned as witness, your eyes hold truth. Beloveds of the northern sands stand in juniper's roots. Fill my celestial body in rose of green, pure unconditional love. Assist, uncover, unclouded by hate. Stand beside me, my love, and let be thy open gate. Omega. Brother Anubis, wall like shadow wolves in mist. Jackal and gale when the ground is kissed. The path is unclear to me as is placed beneath my feet. What is followed is gnarled, winding ever-changing. Darkened figures in path, with myriad fingers beckon. Brother of man, Anubis guide my feet. Tonight we tread the cosmos, our truth we explore. Keep my eyes open, and my mind alive. Protect my heart and body with the warrior song. Stay with me, my dear brother, my brother protect from fate, with love and guidance, the threshold, the gate. Omega. Invoke shadow, true self. Perceive a projection, internal is lost. These are not the key, but ground the third is negative frost. It is not your fault these agreements you hold dear. We are taught to agree, we are taught to obey. Is nature the enemy or just expressed as slave? Bound to shadow this night, shadow of our own. The stone in my heart and sonnet in my mind. Create in my hand, it is thine. Pull up 3 and spread them forth. To examine, not abolish, we invoke the true. Stand thee the tree, the open and void stand we. Stories told untrue, on pride from the rest. stand beforehand. Release the secrets. Release to thee, Omega.
It's so cool how you go from playing an instrument to juggling to juggling the knives. Wow.
Wow.
It's a real show.
It's a real show.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
The goal harness. The further red star ship as we and Hollow journey together through the rift.
Yeah, I think you get the idea.
Yeah, wow, dude,
So-
thank you so much for sharing that. Give me a second. Let me switch screens here. And all right. Dude, I can only imagine what the show would look like if you actually had, the proper amount of time and, rehearsals and, actually like choreographing what's going to happen and putting all that together. I mean, essentially more time. With more time,
This is more time, more money, more everything. This is but this is essentially like the rough draft, right? Like it works how it is, like it gets the idea across. There's like a ritual going on. We're talking about kind of, we're trying to do an actual like real magic spells, right?
Yeah.
That are supposed to be uplifting your consciousness and making you, like helping you become a better person and all this whatever stuff, like at least enlighten you to you're not just like your job or whatever. Like we're trying to, with this like performance, trying to break through the barrier of, are you an audience member or are you part of what's going on? And I very much wanted it to feel like you were absolutely 100% involved and part of what was happening. And there was even one of the shows we did a part where we had people write like intentions on a sheet of paper. They'd come and put it in a little thing, and we burnt all of that at the end.
Wow. So it's really about being connected and just being together as one, essentially, right?
Yeah, and celebrating all of the magic and the beauty of life that's really in the mundane things that are all around us. Like we get used to the birds chirping and flying around and the plants growing beautifully. Like we get used to all this stuff, and it stops feeling like magic, and just our daily routines like is a magic ritual, right? We're in a sense. So you're casting spells all day long on yourself and other people, whether you want to choose to see it that way or not. In my mind, it works that way. So I'm trying to bring to the forefront, at least with this performance, that, okay, we are casting spells all the time, every day. And
Right.
the way the activities that you do throughout your day become who you are eventually. If you are consistently doing something that is harmful to your body and to the world, like, that's what you're going to end up being, in the end, is your quality of life is going to decrease, and the people around you aren't going to want to be around you anymore. But the other side is true too. If you're constantly like, okay, I'm going to consistently show up every day and try to do good things and take care of my health, take care of my mind, take care of my body, and try to connect with people and share and help and just whatever you can to kind of do the opposite of the other thing, move in the other direction. And over time, like, it'll become stronger and stronger, and it'll spread as well, because there's this thing called sympathetic resonance, right? To where if one object is vibrating, a thing of similar resonance will just start to vibrate with it because they're of a similar wavelength. It's like when the snare, like, things are rattling in your house when like the subwoofer is going on or whatever. It's the same with emotions and with dealing with people. Like, if someone in a pissy mood comes in and starts acting like, oh, blah, blah, it affects everybody in the room. Some people more than others, because like some people are able to just observe it and not experience it. Other people haven't trained themselves to do either, to where they can kind of observe a thing without fully experiencing the state that other person's in. Pardon me.
No, you're fine.
Get a sip of my coffee here.
But honestly, beautifully said, man.
But yeah, anyway, it's kind of like what this show is supposed to be, like a super amplified version of like the best things that we can be, like through the flow arts, through the music, through the words being said. And I wanted everyone to kind of join in and like feel involved in the process as well.
Right. Man, yeah, beautifully said, man. And it's so easy for us to take life for granted, especially as we get older. The older that I get, the more I realize, back when I was a kid, everything was exciting, right? Everything was exciting. Waking up in the morning, like a Saturday morning especially, going outside, or like my parents taking me to the beach or doing anything. The small things would excite me. And now that I'm getting older, I realize that I take life for granted a lot, especially, say you've been working at the same job for like 5, 6, 7 years. You get into this routine, this habit where you wake up tired, right? You hit that alarm clock, you're pissed off. You get up, you're pissed off, you do your thing, you get in your car, you start driving. You've already started the day pissed off. You hate the world, you're not enjoying life whatsoever, and you're going to a job that you also hate. And that's probably going to cause you to maybe, go to work grumpy, or maybe be a little rude to your coworkers, whatever it may be. And then that negative energy really resonates to the other people you're working with. And it just really sets up your day to just be one big negative ball, when what you can do is instead you can wake up and you can say, wow, I've woken up, I'm healthy, I'm good. Yes, I have to go to work for a few hours, 8 hours, whatever it is. But you know what? I'm going to make the best out of my day. And even though I don't necessarily want to be here, you know what? I'm going to make the best out of it. And I'm going to try to spread positivity. When I go into work, I'm going to say good morning and smile to all my coworkers. And, spread that positivity. And there's two ways to look at it. But it's so easy to get caught up in daily routines where you forget that the act of living, just being able to wake up and like get in your car and drive or interact with others, that's honestly a blessing right there, the simple things like you were saying. But it's so easy to take life for granted, and it's something that I struggle with, I really want to get better at really just the little things are what are really important. Every day that I get to see my family, every day that I get to call my friends, every day that I'm here living, you know, doing this show, doing this, being on stream, being able to play guitar, those are all blessings. So there's no reason for me to wake up and be negative, but I still do it anyway. You know, it's because I'm caught up in this routine. And I think what you're doing is absolutely beautiful. And it's reminding people that living and spreading positive energy is what life is all about. Enjoying the little things, no matter what it is. Enjoy it and smile and spread positivity.
Yeah, and there's plenty of reasons to be upset every day. You know, there's always reasons, and the hard thing is choosing not to be. It takes effort. It takes conscious choices and it's not easy, like you said. It's not a walk in the park, so to speak, using cliche whatever's. It takes constant attention and effort throughout your whole life. It's never going to be easy.
Right.
But you always have the choice, and your choices become a little easier if you're doing things like taking care of your body. You know, like find, like, when I feel depressed, a lot of times I'm just insufficient in my minerals or something. Like I haven't been taking my vitamins, so my body isn't working as well as it should be. You know, or I didn't work out. It's like, yeah, maybe it's not 100% the sad things in the world that are getting me down. It's that I'm not physically taking care of myself. So it's like a juggling act all the time. Speaking of juggling acts, would you like to see me juggle the knives?
Yes.
All right.
The moment we have all been waiting for.
I found a video of me pass juggling knives at Kinetic Fire with some like little old like farmer man.
Oh, really?
It was like chewing on his gum really fast. The cool thing about pass juggling is I never met this dude before. We had never juggled together before, but we could just walk up, be like, hey, do you want to pass juggle these knives? I'm like, sure, let's do it. And we just do it. You know?
That's so crazy,
the cool thing about. So yeah, it's not like we practiced this or anything. This is just some dude that knew how to juggle too. And I'm sure Marvin or anyone else that out there that juggles has experienced this before. Like you walk and say, hey, you pass? You know, like yeah. You're like, all right, let's do it. You know? So this is one of those moments.
Oh, wow.
It's very short. It's just a quick little
yeah, let's see it. Let's see it.
All right.
Oh, by the way, HTRDD, I totally agree with you, man. Being present is very, very important. But yeah, let me get the screen switched, and then we're good to go. We'll watch this video. Give me a second. All right, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, it's just a quick clip. Actually, let's if I keep this on, I'll show you one of me doing some slackline juggling.
Let's see it.
So,
bro, that's crazy though. You guys were literally just passing knives, and you would like.
Oh yeah,
you've never practiced with this guy. You said, "Do you pass?" Yes. All right. Here's a bunch of knives. Let's do it, bro. That's fucking crazy, man. That's awesome.
It's Yeah. He just juggled in front. I was like, okay, you look like you know what you're doing, so let's do it.
Oh, that's super cool.
Okay, let me share this screen. All right. This one has some audio, so I'll turn that on.
Thank you, Francisco.
Right.
Thank you, Francisco.
Here's some slackline juggling.
Give me 1 second.
Give me 1 second. We switch screens.
All right.
All right.
Oh, you're on a fucking rope too. I just noticed that. Whoa. the hell?
What the hell?
So slackline.
Slackline.
It's like a
Yeah,
tightrope.
I
That's
love
what
I love
slackline juggling is. Okay, so you're on the rope and you're balancing yourself as you're juggling whatever the object is.
Yeah. There's I've seen some people doing some what they call slackline knife juggling, but they just stand in one spot on it. They don't actually walk on it. I'm like, no.
It's like, bro, you're not doing the real thing. Come on, don't be a poser, bro.
Don't just stand on one spot and do it. You got to walk the thing and do it.
Yeah, and that just takes that extra step of really practicing and getting a feel for the rope to be able to even do that. And on top of that, you're juggling knives, man. Like, how sharp are these things?
They will stab and they will slice good enough to cause serious injury for sure.
Fuck, man. How long did it take you to get comfortable with did you have to build up to the juggling of knives? I mean, you didn't just one day say, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and juggle knives. Like, what was the process like to
I
get to
juggled
those
pirouette
knives?
clubs. I juggled clubs just long enough to where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the blades. So I juggled clubs for like maybe 2 weeks, and then I figured I was ready. It took me like 2 weeks of getting used to it before I did it. I also I'd practice like walking the train tracks. So I'd balance walk on the train tracks while I juggled with the clubs. And once I could do that very comfortably, I was like, okay, if I can balance and do this and I'm not messing up at all, then I knew I was ready for the blades.
So it took 2 weeks? I thought you were going to say like it took a year or two, bro. 2 weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, juggling, like the basic juggling isn't that hard. Like you can pick it up in one day if you focus on it for most of the day.
Oh, wow. Now, okay,
Yeah.
I keep hearing the term contact juggling.
Right.
So what is contact juggling?
That's what I was doing with the balls, you see. That you saw me like.
When you had the balls in one hand, right?
Yeah. This is contact juggling, see?
Ah, okay.
That's contact juggling. Because it's in contact with your body, but it's also considered juggling. So it's like contact juggling. You're not throwing it in the air. It's in contact. So.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's really cool. Now, have you done any streams where you juggle? Maybe like you set up in a different spot and you go for it, or have?
Yeah, I did one stream that where I set up the camera outside and did some knife stuff, but someone was like, "You might get kicked off Twitch for the safety thing. Like you might get in trouble." So I was like, you know what? You're probably right. They said at least put on like a disclaimer that says don't do this at home or don't try this at home or something. And so I've been kind of like, yeah, you're probably right. Maybe I should only like maybe show videos of me doing it and not actually do it live. Because there is that gray area there where, you know, you're right. They could potentially be like, okay, this is unsafe, and you could, you know, people could watch you like die on the stream.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay, it's not worth the risk. It is not worth the risk. Maybe it's a better thing to do on like you said.
I mean, I wouldn't
YouTube
like
videos.
I've been like mildly injured from them, but never serious. Like I don't try stuff that's like so far beyond my abilities or so dangerous that I'm gonna get like all jacked up. But
yeah,
there's always a freak chance that something could happen.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so there's different forms of contact juggling: palm spinning, body rolling, and formations. Okay, so palm spinning was what you just you just showed. What's body rolling?
Body rolling is where like you roll it around your body, like across your chest, behind your neck. It's mostly those spots. You're just like rolling it across your chest and your shoulders and like up and down your arms.
And what about formations?
Formations is where you take like a bunch of balls, like 5, 6 to 9, or even 12 sometimes, and you just move them into different shapes.
Whoa!
That's not as fun for me. To me, that's like, it's cool, and it's great anyone that does it. My favorite is doing like the palm spinning and the butterflies type stuff. So like, it's like this type.
Oh, okay.
Which.
Now, can you take any object that's round, you know, like say an orange, and do this, or do you need those special balls?
Sure.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you can do it with anything round. Even some things that aren't all the way round, you can still kind of do it.
Man, all right. So I have a question that's off topic.
Okay, cool.
What's the story behind the Pikachu hat or the beanie? The Pikachu
this is
beanie.
My fiance got this for me on my birthday just a couple years ago. I love anime. Anime is one of my favorite art forms. So we went to an anime store on my birthday, and she got me this.
Oh, nice.
Little beanie.
What's your favorite anime?
Oh, that's a horrible question.
Okay, well, like top five. I didn't know you were into anime. I just recently got into anime. What's your top five?
I don't have. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't even give you a top five.
Wow. Okay, so you've seen a lot of animes, haven't you?
I've seen hundreds at least. I could name off a bunch that I like. I liked Code Geass. I don't know if you saw that. Lelouch of the Rebellion.
No, I really want to though. My brother's seen it.
I really liked, all the Ghost in the Shell stuff. I like the new series, the standalone complex series, the movies. I like it. I like Ghost in the Shell a lot.
Death
I
Note.
like this one
Did you
called
like Death Note?
Black Loon. Yeah, I love Death Note. Death Note's cool. I like Black Clover. I like along like the more funny, like goofy side. I like Ouran High School Host Club, and yeah. There's just so many.
You know what? Let's play a quick little game. So I do this little anime medley a lot on TikTok when I go live. I'm gonna play the medley for you, and I want you to name the anime that it's from. It's only gonna be like 4 songs, maybe 5. But all right, here we go. All right, the first one. This is the most popular one. All right, people love this on TikTok right now. All right, here we go.
Am I supposed to know it from that? No.
Yeah. Do you know that one?
No.
That one's Hisiko's theme. It's from an anime called Hunter x Hunter. You probably haven't seen that one.
I love Hunter. I have. I've seen all of Hunter x Hunter. They're supposed to be coming out with another series of that very soon. From what I heard.
Really? No way.
Oh yeah, dude. Hunter x Hunter is one of my favorites ever. It's so epic. Yeah.
I actually
Hunter x Hunter.
I actually haven't seen it yet. But I did a cover of Hisiko's theme. I posted it on TikTok probably about like 3-4 months ago, and that thing just blew up like crazy. So I've really been meaning to watch it. But all right, let me play another one. Here's another song.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
That one's from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Okay, I haven't seen all of that. I've only seen a couple episodes, but it seems pretty cool.
What about this one? You're gonna know this one. I'm gonna play a short piece of it. Here we go. Oh, my bad. Do you know that one?
Man, it sounds familiar. I don't though.
That one's Bluebird from Naruto.
Okay, I love Naruto. I've seen all the Naruto, like all 500 episodes of the original thing. Yeah, I watched all of them. So good, dude. Naruto helped me and some of my friends get through our days sometimes.
Well, dude, okay, back when I was growing up, man, I was super into Dragon Ball Z, and bro, Dragon Ball Z helped me a lot. During my childhood, and Dragon Ball Z even got me into working out. Like when I was in high school, whenever I'd be working out and I'd want to do that last rep, I would just picture Goku turning Super Saiyan for the first time after Krillin died, and that would just pump me the fuck up, dude. Anime is honestly so inspiring. The character development and the emotional attachment that you get from these characters. You can honestly really take a lot of things away, from these characters.
Yeah. I mean, you got to watch Naruto's whole life. From when he was a little kid all the way up through he's an adult now in Boruto. I don't know if you watch Boruto at all.
I haven't seen that one, no. Have you seen that one as well?
Yeah, I've been watching Boruto. I'm up to date with that. It's the next generation where it's Naruto is the Hokage and he's had children, and his son is now like the main character, and yeah, it's really wild.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I
I haven't
love
seen that one
Naruto
yet.
for sure.
I have one more song. Let me know if you can name
Okay.
this one. I think you'll probably be able to get this one. Here we go.
No.
That one's L's theme from Death Note.
Okay.
So
L is great. L's the best character in that for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. You know what? For the rest of this interview,
And Goofball, I agree. Like
sitting
Kahlua is one of my favorite characters as well from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, I really got to get on that. I really got to watch it. I want to play a quick game with you. It's called I Must Ask You a Question. I'm going to ask you some questions and you answer them. Pretty easy. All right, give me a second. Let me pull up these questions real quick. All right. This is a hard question. I should probably stop asking this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What's your favorite band?
Overall, probably Him. Have you heard of Him?
Oh,
His
bro.
Infernal Majesty?
Oh, yeah, man. I used to, I was a big fan of like Viva La Bam and Jackass and all that. And you know, Ben Margera was great friends with him. So I grew up listening to their music, man, especially in high school. You know,
I dig the vibe. I like things that are a little heavier, but are also like very sentimental and melodic. And I don't know, I love the tonalities, and yeah, I don't know, I dig the music a lot.
Back when I was younger, I always told myself that I would get a tattoo of I think it's called the heartagram, you know, like the heart with the circle. But I never got it. But I mean, it's still a badass symbol, honestly. I really like it. Okay, what's your favorite place to eat?
Man, that's a tougher one. Like a restaurant?
Yeah. Or like a dish, doesn't matter. By the way, bye Stellar Death. Thank you so much for sticking around.
Okay, I like I'm a big fan of like French food. I like and Thai food, I guess. But I really love like those chocolate croissants, you know what I mean? With some coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like a French cafe, I could be pretty happy. I could be pretty happy in a French cafe for sure.
What's your favorite color?
Green.
All right.
Usually green. I like, I've been liking like a pink and purple these days a lot though.
I could tell by your lighting.
Yeah.
Favorite modern band? So band that's come out in like the past 10 years.
Wow, I don't think I know any.
Oh, so you listen to older music? Well, I mean, not.
I like, I guess, let me think. When did, yeah, most of the bands I listen to have been around for a while. Like Pendulum is one of the newer ones, I guess, but they've been around for more than 10 years. Let's see. Like most of the newer stuff that's been coming out and has been kind of different has been like electronic music. It hasn't been like bands. Like they're kind of just remaking stuff that already happened like in the 70s. Like there's this one band, I don't know who they are, I can't remember, but they played on Saturday Night Live, and they were like a lame version of Led Zeppelin. They're like a watered down version of them. I was like,
wait, do you remember what the band was called? I'm curious now. Who was this?
I can't remember, but it was like, people were like, oh yeah, I love this. I'm like, dude, that's like a lame Led Zeppelin. It's like if Led Zeppelin had children and they like were lazy, and I don't know, I'm talking too much smack.
Dang. Shots fired, bro. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
But as far as modern bands, I really couldn't tell you any like pop modern bands. I'm really not familiar. I like this group called Purity Ring. I don't know how old they are. They're like an EDM type band, I guess. But
I've never heard of them. I'll check them out though. Okay. Would you rather win $1 million or play a show with your favorite artist?
Oh man. Just give me that money. Just pay me
Oh, just hey. Oh, but dude, if you had that money, you'd be able to put on an epic show, and you wouldn't have to worry about a budget. So, in a way, it'd be an investment too, because I really think that show can go places, man. You know, like if you had the right time, and I mean, budget is the biggest thing. It's very expensive to put something like that together, but
for sure,
man, I really feel like people would really just enjoy it. I really hope one day.
I think it's different enough, but also is like entertaining enough to where it's not like. Are you familiar with Cal Arts, that school in California?
Oh yeah.
It's like the Cal Arts masterpieces are like someone like crying on a paperclip and then throwing up on the piano. Like they call those the Cal Arts masterpieces. It's like, okay, dude.
Are you serious?
But well, I'm exaggerating a bit, but it's like
exaggerating a bit.
It's my fiance went there, and she told me like a lot of their like performances were like, okay, this is like being weird for the sake of being weird. It's like doesn't have any like no one in the whole world would enjoy this besides the professors at Cal Arts. I don't know.
So it's kind of like those paintings where it's literally like somebody grabbed a paintbrush and just like did a bunch of random shit on it, but for some reason it sells for like $500,000.
No, it's more like someone like pooping on a sculpture of Jesus. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Oh, it's that. Okay, it's that brutal. Damn.
It's like, okay. It's okay. You're going to call this art? Fine. I guess so. I guess it's art.
It's subjective, so whatever, man. Whatever. If they like it, they like it. Okay. If you could only pick one instrument to play for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably piano, just because like it's so versatile and you can cover such a large amount of the frequency range with it. Whereas most instruments, you're very like confined to like a smaller range as far as like the frequency spectrum. But with piano, you have almost all of it, like a big chunk of it there, and and you can play most any piece on a piano, you know. So it's like a percussive melodic instrument. So I could get my drumming fix in and I could get my melodic fix in, and I'm not stuck playing one note at a time. I can play multiple notes at a time. I can do, you know. So I guess if there was only one that I could play, I'd probably just pick the piano.
Hey, that's a good answer, man. Honestly, I thought that answer would take you a little bit longer to think about, but you knew right away, yeah, piano. But yeah, your reasoning behind it totally makes sense. Okay, I think I know what your answer is going to be for this one, but let's find out. If you were a Pokemon,
Okay.
Which Pokemon would you be?
Well, Pikachu, of course.
All right, so I was right, yeah. Do you have a favorite TV show?
A favorite TV show. I do like TV shows. Do I have a favorite TV show? I like Doctor Who a lot. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, I'm not actually.
It's like a BBC. It's like a long-going British series. I like sci-fi. You know, like sci-fi is pretty cool. And it's kind of quirky and fun, but also has some excitement going on.
Oh, okay.
Is it my favorite of all time? I don't know, but it's one of my favorites right now, so I'll just go with that. I like The Expanse a lot too. Have you seen that? The Expanse?
I haven't seen that one either, no.
That one's pretty good. It's like outer space, future stuff.
Do you like Cowboy Bebop?
Oh yeah, Cowboy Bebop was super dope.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop's like just one of those classics, right? And then you mentioned space, so I was like, oh, he's probably a fan of Cowboy Bebop. That's a great.
Yeah, and like Trigun's pretty awesome too.
I really
like
want to go.
Era,
I watched Trigun back when I was like probably 12, so it's been like years, man. I really want to go back. I remember the last episode made me cry. I don't really remember why. I really want to go back and revisit it. It's one of those like short and sweet animes, from what I remember.
Yeah, it's not super long. I think it's maybe like it's not like a 20 episode one. It's like they're probably closer to 50. I think it's one of the 50 episode ones, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember though, honestly.
This isn't part of the question, but I'm curious. Have you seen Vinland Saga?
No, what's that?
Whoa,
Vinland?
bro. Yeah, Vinland Saga.
Vinland.
I'm gonna send you a link. I believe I watched it on Hulu. But dude, it's one of the best animes I've ever seen. It is so beautiful and so emotional. I'm gonna send you a link. You should totally check it out. It starts off a little bit slow, but if you get past the 5th episode, you're gonna love it. At least I did. So you should check it out, man. Not a lot of people know about it for some reason, but it's incredible.
No, there's a lot of animes where I don't know the name of it, but I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many actually.
Yeah,
I
mean, especially with
name,
you. You've seen so many. So you've been watching anime since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, man. I didn't get into anime until I started streaming on Twitch, actually, which was around the time COVID started. And then a lot of my viewers were like, dude, have you heard of this anime? Have you heard of this anime? And I'm like, dude, I've only seen Dragon Ball Z. So I started giving anime a chance, like a real chance, and I'm falling in love with it, man. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. It's I think Akira was one of the first animes I saw for like a younger American generation. Like Akira and Ghost in the Shell were probably some of the first that you saw. It's because they were like some of the more popular ones when I was young. Mm-hmm. And Dragon Ball Z, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So Dragon Ball Z, Akira, and Ghost in the Shell were probably the first. Oh, and there's this one about a Ninja Scroll. And Ninja Scroll was in that list as well.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Ninja Scroll is pretty epic. You should check that one out.
Yeah, I will. Okay. What do you prefer, summer or winter?
Oh, man. I really do like them both. I like the change of season. I lived in San Diego for a little while, and it was like forever summer there. And honestly, after like a while, I kind of got like, okay, I want some seasons.
Yeah.
I miss the leaves and stuff. So I'm going to say no.
I've been living in California my whole life, so I didn't really know that pretty much outside of California, you'll actually get 4 seasons. So I went on tour with a funk band like 2 years ago, and I think it was around November, and we went to like Oregon, we went to Seattle, we went to Utah, a few other places. But I remember our first stop was Oregon, and as soon as I got there, I was like, dude, this is different. Like the trees look different. Like the leaves, the leaves got the autumn colors on them, and it's like just really cold. It actually feels like winter versus being in California. It's like sometimes it's cold, sometimes it rains, but most times it's pretty sunny. Mm-hmm. Even December, even now, it's like today was a hot day, and it's like, bro, what the hell's going on, man? We've only had rain, like real rain, probably once this year so far. So
yeah, there's crazy. Like ice and snow outside right now.
That's crazy, man. That's such a change. Okay, let's see. All right, I like this one. If you were a rapper, what would your rapper name be?
Jay Fizzle.
I like that.
I don't know.
Jay Fizzle? Hey, I'm going to start calling you that, bro, every time I go into your stream. Yeah, what up, Jay Fizzle? Do you have a favorite video game?
Ooh. Let's see. There's this game I really loved called Tenchu Stealth Assassin. But I mean, I love games. Probably the Zelda games are up there for me. I really enjoyed Wind Waker.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I played through it multiple times, so I must have liked something about it.
I feel like Wind Waker isn't talked about enough. I mean, I know people appreciate the game, but bro, when I played it, I need to replay it. I've only played it once. It was just so beautiful, man, the way they told the story, and I really felt like I love games where I literally feel like at a certain point I am inside the game and I literally want to become the character, Like a really good story game is just so beautiful to play. Okay. What's an embarrassing moment you had as a performer? Can you think of one where you're just like, oh, that was pretty cringe?
I'm sure there's quite a few, I imagine. Yeah, when like I went to do like a trick where I was doing a somersault to pick up all my blades. I did it, and I came up into my somersault, and one of them just like flew out of my hands.
No way! Wait, what was it?
What was what?
You said like you had stuff on the floor and then you did a somersault to pick
Oh,
it back up.
it was my juggling knives.
Holy
I did this thing where
shit.
I've got all six of my juggling knives on the ground, and I pick all of them up doing a somersault, right? So like I do a somersault and I come up and I've got 6 blades in my hand. And it did not work out.
One of those knives flew out of your hand, bro. That's fucking terrifying. Let's see. Do you have a milestone you always look back at in your career? Doesn't matter what. Was there like a moment where you're like, you know what? This really changed me, like for the better.
I guess in the first time I was in a group that was really solid, and everyone was doing their part, and we all worked together to achieve something greater than our individual selves. So like whenever that happens, I get really inspired, for sure.
Let's see. Do you have any pet peeves when it comes to working with other people?
Sure, if they're like intoxicated all the time, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves is if you're showing up and you're like just getting hammered during practice or even during the show, it's like I don't want to deal with you because like you're just gonna break my equipment or your equipment, or you're gonna just do something embarrassing or stupid, and I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's definitely happened more often than I'd care to even acknowledge, you know.
Yeah, I can totally relate there, man. Especially being a musician, you know. Okay, what's your favorite instrument to listen to? Do you have a favorite instrument to listen to?
Oh, probably like maybe harp. Like a really good harp player is really nice to listen to. I could probably listen to a really good harp player like all day long, for sure.
No, that's a good choice. Let's see. What's your favorite holiday? Do you have one?
Halloween.
Hey, that's a great one. Okay, last question. I love this one. This one's my favorite. On a scale of 1 to 10, how dope is my mustache?
Dude, it's like infinity dope for sure.
Infinity dope. I haven't heard that one yet. Bro, I just want to thank you so much for being on the show, man. I honestly had a great time getting to know you, and thank you so much for sharing like a lot of different parts of your life, man. Honestly, it was very inspiring and just great to really get to know you, man.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me and having me on. And yeah, there's a lot more to my life than even what I showed you, but there's always time in the future for hopefully other people to experience what's living inside my brain. I hope we all can make some cool stuff together eventually. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah, man. Just collabs, you know, collabs all day, especially now with COVID going on. This is the time to collab, you know. We got the resources, we got the internet. But yo, thank you so much, everybody who was in here watching. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who subscribed, gifted subs, everybody who threw bits at us. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to have JesseFox's links down in the description box along with mine. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace. Wow.